Good morning, Joel. Joel is number one. Good morning, Cara. Alright, guys, we're gonna just get right into it today. I have a lot I want to show you guys today, and honestly, hardly any of it's saltwater. If you have saltwater questions, I will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. to go over your salty stuff if you want. However, today I want to talk a little bit about water chemistry because some of the fish that we're going to highlight today need specific water parameters. So I'm showing you our water chemistry additives down here. I don't want to take too much time on it because I know Jesse has gone over this before. But for those of you who don't know, I don't actually live down here near Milwaukee. I live up in the Hartford area, which means I'm on Wisconsin well water, which is notoriously high pH and notoriously very hard water. There are certain species in the store that are just not going to survive on that. I will say most fish, absolutely fine. But one of the questions that I dread asking when people are falling in love with these fish is, what's your water chemistry? Really, I ask, where do you live? What water are you on? And we have our waters here that I'll go over as well, but I just want to talk about, if you are on Lake Michigan water, you have great pH. It's about, I'm trying to remember exactly where we're at. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. 7.5, 7.6, a little over 7. It's softer water. A lot of fish do very well on it. So we don't have to worry about it too much. We still do mix our own plant water, and I'll show you our additives for that in a little bit. It does have all of our information on what that is right here. But everybody else in the state, some people need to mix their own RO water, or some people come and actually buy our plant water. There's a few people that swear by it, even just for watering their house plants. And all of our shrimp over there are on a mixture of Milwaukee water, which is Lake Michigan water, along with plant water to make their water chemistry a little bit better for them. But I like to breed Cacatoides, Apistogramma cacatoides. I'm working on a few other Apistogramma species, but those are the ones I currently have babies of. And I would not be able to even keep the adults alive on my water, so I make my own RO water, and then I mix acid buffer, alkaline buffer, and equilibrium, which are the exact same three we use to make our plant water here. But if you follow the directions, you can actually make those into whatever pH or hardness you need. And I also have a colony of red rilly shrimp, so I make kind of a different mixture for those guys with a little bit more equilibrium for their shells. Joel, I'm not going to get into that. My background is chemistry. Joel knows that. That was actually my degree. And then I taught for a very long time, but mostly physics actually. However, we don't have the time for that, nor does everyone else really want to get into that, Joel. I will say though, having the buffer is really important. I do have a lot of people skip over that, and some people can breed just in RO water, and I think they get lucky. If they don't have a buffer, you all of a sudden spike nitrates, you overfeed, something weird happens, and it'll actually crash your pH and go really acidic. So it's super important to have the buffer, which is what that alkaline buffer is. But then it raises your pH too high. The acid buffer, I don't like the name of it. Sorry, Seachem, I love your products, but it's not an actual buffer. It's a straight acid. It is a weaker acid, so I guess technically it can be a buffer, but really that's just to then bring the pH down. And some of you are glazing over right now. I apologize. I do love talking about water chemistry. If you're a water chemistry nerd, come in, pick my brain on it. I don't know everything, far from it, but man, I love talking about it and learning about it. So if you are like me and you are more central Wisconsin and you are on your own private well or you're on a city well, which by the way, if you don't have a private well, you are on a city well, you have water that is just not going to do well for most of what we're looking at here. The plants, some plants are going to be fine, but if you really want that beautiful, dense planted tank, it's probably going to have to be a mixture of RO water with your well water, or just do what I do straight RO and then make it the same way every single time by remineralizing it and adding the pH additives. All right, so what are the main fish that we're talking about here that everyone wants and I have to tell people, unfortunately, no a lot of the times? I mean, I say I wouldn't do it. Some people still try. Cardinal tetras. They're one of our most popular. If anyone's watching this and you don't live in the area, so you haven't seen our cardinal tetras in person, they're big, they're beautiful, they are adults. A lot of these guys are over an inch. They're completely colored up, and they are all quarantined, they are medicated, they are super healthy and fat. Before I worked here, I was pulling together a very big school of these and slowly buying batches of them and quarantining them. And I did not buy all of them from here. In fact, most of them I got from fish swaps. And I love fish swaps, don't get me wrong. However, those were not pre-quarantined. A lot of them were recently wild caught and then imported. And I lost a lot, like a lot of cardinal tetras, and I had them on the right water. It's just they're a very difficult species to switch over and to go through any change. Here, Steve is an expert at that, and he does it for you. Some people balk at the $8 per cardinal tetra. They're like, I can get it for $3 or $4 elsewhere, and I get it. I've done that before. But when I was starting to buy them from here before I worked here, I actually saved money because I wasn't losing any of them. So, a shameless plug right there. We have healthy fish, guys. Joel, they're not medicated for mental health issues. I think they're pretty good mentally. They're fat and healthy. Tim, you do have liquid rock water, which, I mean, if you want to breed Tanganyikan cichlids, any of you in central Wisconsin and you don't want to mess with your water, that's fine. Like I said, most fish do fine. However, if you want fish to thrive, do some African cichlids. And if you have really hard water, such as Tim, the Tanganyikans love that. If you look up what the specs of Lake Tanganyika are, it is insane. And yes, the joke is, and I actually got this from a Seachem trainer, Tanganyikan cichlids really love rock that looks like water. I'm looking for my sticky notes. Annabelle and I have been putting sticky notes on tanks. There's one, so we know which ones to highlight. I had someone really concerned yesterday. They're like, what's up with the sticky notes? What's wrong with this tank? I'm like, there is nothing wrong with that tank. In fact, they're amazing. We're highlighting them. We have more tiger moray eels. These are true freshwater, 100% freshwater eels. And they will do well with that little bit of salt in. We actually salt all of our tanks, that 1 tablespoon per 5 gallons, which is not table salt. Please don't put table salt in your tanks. It is aquarium salt. Mollies also really do well with that. It just helps with osmotic regulation, it helps with disease prevention, it helps with their slime coat, which is probably why it helps with disease prevention. There's probably a lot more benefits to it that I'm not as familiar with. But plants do not like salt, so you have to be a little bit more careful with it there. It might be 2 tablespoons per 5. Someone correct me. Any of my coworkers correct me. I'm notorious for not remembering numbers exactly. Don't trust me with numbers. Andrew, you're fishing! That's exciting. It's a beautiful day. I have a feeling we're going to be slow today. Today's a great day to come in if you have questions or just need a little bit more time with us when it's a very nice day. Most people are either in and out of here really fast, or they're out doing other things such as fishing or barbecuing, which I can't blame you for. But please, some of you, come in, talk with us, buy things. Don't let us be super slow, otherwise the day goes long and it's just not as fun. We're here because we like talking to people about this hobby. Dakota, I will say there are ways to do this hobby a lot cheaper than what some people make it out to be. But if you're limited by space, yeah, there's only so much you can do there. But I mean, nano tanks are really popular. Not only do they not take up space, but they're just cheaper. Joel, you're trying to talk less. Joel, today's a great day to come in and just talk a lot. That's okay, you don't have to talk less. We have some more koi swordtails, Sankei tricolors, some nice big fat ones. Gorgeous fish. And blueberry tetras with the chubby plecos. Okay, I love this tank right here. Between the little blueberries and the chubby plecos, this is an adorable tank. I need to not buy them. I need to not buy more fish, guys. It's a problem. We still have some of these albino apricots, although someone called yesterday about them. In case you're wondering, we do have them. So pretty. We have some itty bitty clown loaches. Okay, they're not itty bitty, but compared to what they will be, they're itty bitty. $16.99 if you guys are looking for a baby one. Still got some super red plecos. Got a lot of nice guppies in. Did I skip over the new guppies? Where are they? Oh no, they're coming up. Got a whole batch of pygmy cories in. They'll sell pretty fast. Here's the new guppies. Some koi snake skins. Yeah, once the blueberries go dark, once they actually get their like full colors, yes, they are gorgeous. Right now they're in more of their juvenile colors. These assorted mollies are so big and fat. I look at these guys and go, man, I'd like to switch some of you over to saltwater. Which you can do. They actually do pretty well on full salt. Alright, here's some I'm going to highlight. Look at these apistos. Look at how cute these are. These are my babies. If you guys want my apistos, here they are. Poor Phil. I'm sorry, Phil. Phil got really confused about the new fish list this week because it just said Amanda's apistos. And he's like, what are these? What species are these? What does this mean? Because I forgot to explain, and I don't think Steve put on there the explanation of what they were. They are cacatoides. We're just selling them as regular cacatoides. The male that was really colored up already sold a bunch along with a group of what's hopefully females. Even though they're big and chunky, they're still juveniles, and the males will kind of sleep on that male color when there's a more dominant male present. So they are harder to sex as juveniles. That's the rule with all apistos. Oh, but I was gonna say, we put them as regular cacatoides. They are actually a mix between a lemon cacatoide and a double red cacatoide. The one male that colored up looked like a triple red. There's some weird genetics going on in here. My reason why is I'm breeding them back into double reds. However, I wanted to have a little bit of mixed genetics because unfortunately apistogrammas are so inbred you get a lot of issues. So before I get a good breeding stock, I wanted to start with more of a mixed group just to have a healthier batch. So they are healthy. I had very few losses along the way. They're all chunky. and they've never had a disease, and I can guarantee that. Those are ones that absolutely, if you missed the beginning of the video, need that soft water and low pH. They're brought up to full Lake Michigan water, so they're above 7. But I breed them on about 6.5. We have some new rainbows in. Got some Millennium rainbows in here, along with some Congo Tetras yet, and some Empire Gudgeons. Rainbows are another one where it's just wait till they color up. Gorgeous fish. And I know that for a lot of the species, the females don't get the bright colors either. They're still pretty. They may not shine in comparison to their male counterparts, but they're still a gorgeous fish on their own. Joel, there is a science theme going on here today. I'm just starting to show my true colors a little bit. Can we work physics in? Maybe. The turquoise had come out a little while ago, but the males are really getting their good color in. Parkinsoni rainbows, Parkinsoni, I don't know. I don't know the exact pronunciation on these. This one, there's definitely some males showing that orange tail already too. And then the Boesemans. Boesemans are ones where both the males and the females have good color. Like, yes, the males have a brighter color, but the females are gorgeous too. Tim, 8.4 won't work. No, it will not. They will die, unfortunately, very fast. Please don't buy some of my babies and put them in well water. I will be sad. Even though I get it, as soon as you buy them, they're your babies. They're your responsibility. But be kind to your fish and put them in the right water. We have yellow belly Crebensis, and then I believe these are the new ones. These itty bitty baby Crebensis. If I had the time and the room and the money, I'd probably have a whole fish room dedicated to dwarf cichlids. And yes, I am the saltwater manager. I can love both. It's allowed. For my saltwater, I don't want a whole room of it though. I just want my 2 tanks that I spend a lot of time on and I baby. And I don't want to have any more saltwaters than that. I just want to dedicate all my salty time to those 2 tanks. Especially the coral tank. It's just fun making a garden of coral. You know, it's not a bad idea to maybe have a lesson. We're starting to do YouTube series. They're in the works right now. Maybe one of those series will be water chemistry and how to do it. I'm not always the biggest fan of mixing the RO water with tap water unless you have a really good testing kit and you're making sure you're measuring the exact same way every time. For most fish, having a swing in pH every time you do a water change because you mixed it slightly differently than last time is way worse than having what would be considered the wrong pH. Obviously there's exceptions, but these Oscars are new. We have more red spot Severum. The most striking Severum in my opinion. Water Chemistry Wednesdays. Okay, well Tim, the freshwater smilers, those were in the big cichlid tank. They were in the big boy tank. Those were not my dwarf cichlids. I mean, yes, they're a dwarf cichlid, but they were in with the green Severums and the Waru and the gold Severums and just a bunch of massive fish. Those were not in my little peaceful planted tanks. And in fact, it really wasn't my tank. It was technically my husband's tank. But we're married, so what's his is mine and what's mine is his. But he definitely picked that tank. We have several groups of green avatar angels. They just look like black angels right now, but as they get older and brighter and you put them under bright lights, instead of a silver streak or sheen going through them, it's going to be a green sheen. They're very unique. And I will say angels are one where people will be like, they need to be on the softer water. And while that's good for them, they are so adaptable, especially because they've been captive bred for so long. They can pretty much adapt to any water. Where are we at? I gotta speed this up. There's a lot of things I want to show you guys yet. Oh, look at these archers. They've been here a bit. Stop sleeping on the archers. They're brackish. I know a lot of people don't have brackish water. This would be one I'd consider making a whole tank for, though. Lighting counts as physics. Lighting does count as physics. Look at this blue Acara. Sorry, electric blue Acara. 2 weeks ago I clarified the difference between blue Acara and electric blue Acara. This is electric blue, but look at, he's like perfect. And a cute little clown loach. He's not little, he's quite big, but we have some new Julies, some golden Julies. Tim, here you go, Tanganique and cichlids. The spotted Julies have been here a little bit, but they're just showing off today. If I miss anything that you guys want to see, please ask. I'm going to speed through here a little bit for sake of time. We have some Masobos. Some of them, let's see, a lot of what I'm seeing as blue is actually the German red peacocks, but there we go, there's one. There's some colored up Masobos, the males. Okay, they all have colors. Look at the bright yellow. We have some new goldfish in. Look at the little derps. So cute. Okay. There are some bettas I actually want to highlight. We don't show the bettas enough love. We recently had a customer bring in some bettas that were imported from Thailand. Their light's not on. That's why you guys never get highlighted. Okay. I gotta find them, and hopefully you can see them well enough. All right, buddy, wake up. We have a Black King Crown Tail that if I had another tank for a betta, I'd be so tempted to buy him. Oh, man, I need the lights on. There is a round tail Black Samurai here that I would also consider buying. Sorry, I'm just going to show you guys my favorites, and hopefully you come in and buy them so I'm not tempted to set up another tank. There are some Black Star, also known as Avatar bettas, that when I first saw them, I seriously almost set up a tank. It's a problem right now. My husband's out of town. If he comes home and I have more tanks set up, he's pretty chill, but he's gonna have some words about that. I need to not be one of those people that just has tanks everywhere. Tanks in the bathroom, tanks in the kitchen. I'm not at that point yet, but I need someone to rein me in before I am. Joel, the axolotls are rarely shown love. Maybe one of these days we'll just do an axolotl highlight. They're just such a specific, unique animal, and most people that, gotta get rid of my my sticky notes. Most people that know they want one have already done the research and come in specifically for them. Ooh, it's bright. I'm blind. Is doing an amazing job with pond plants. Can't talk. We have some white pickerel and some cardinals, dwarf rush, some more bloody dock, blue flag iris, the cork rush. That's such a cool looking plant. Zebra rush. Our lilies right now, the current ones out are looking a little sad. She's actually repotting some nice big new ones today. So don't worry, there will be plenty of lilies today. We have some new koi. These guys actually come from Borner Botanical Gardens. We have a relationship between them and the zoo with these guys. So if you want a fish that has been at the botanical gardens, they were born there and then raised at the zoo, that's something to talk about. We have those. The pond plants could be put inside. They just need a bright enough light. They are adapted to the colder water. I don't know how well they do in a heated tank. But if you wanted to do a version of a pond inside, that might be more of an Annabelle question about the temperature. It would be fine. I mean, it's very similar to having the terrarium plants growing out of a filter, only this time, depending on how deep your tank is, you could plant them down in the substrate and have them grow out. That would actually be quite cool. Still have the nice big koi. Got some little standard koi, $20 each. Some medium standard koi, $40 each. Still have those extra large comets. We have some of the small. They're still bigger than feeder fish. We don't sell goldfish as feeder fish for many reasons. Not the least being they can bring a lot of disease. Thank you, Jesse. Yes, lighting. They are used to full sun. So you'd have to have like a massive plant light, more than just a tank light hanging above them. Like a greenhouse light almost. One of those big grow lights. Decorative butterfly koi. Alright, and that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. Come on in today. I know it's a gorgeous day, but come keep us company, otherwise we're going to be lonely. And we will see you later.